a statement about the Yada mirror that's not even a full statement. But the statement about the Rinnegan you don't want to take.
Because we've seen in real life action that anything that comes against the Yada mirror gets destroyed by the Yada mirror. But we've seen Rinnegan users. I don't care what you agree with.
I don't agree.
We've
with
seen
the Yada mirror.
Rinnegan users not be able to use the whole Rinnegan ability. We've seen that. But against the Yada mirror, anything that touches the Yada mirror, guess what?
But if he summoned Madara, Sasuke and Itachi can't do nothing. If he could summon his reanimations to him right there.
I don't think Madara beat Itachi and Sasuke. But Sasuke alone, I think Madara beat Sasuke. Yo, that no. Y'all
would have dog walked.
Y'all gotta realize who Madara was at this point. That was
10 times better than Sasuke and Itachi's.
How do you come up with that?
We've seen that.
Because he beat regular ninjas?
You talking about Madara who came with first Hokage's abilities and they're inside of a cave where he can literally do the wood jutsu that absorbs chakra.
That ain't gonna do nothing when I pull up with the Susanoo and I chop all that crap down.
And he got a Susanoo too. Like what?
No, but my point is, you talking about wood style. Wood style is not gonna do anything to my Susanoo that can chop crap down.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't. No. You can't take me out my Susanoo if you can't reach me with the wood.
It's absorbing your chakra.
Wait a minute.
It's a soul.
Wait a minute.
It's a soul weapon. It's not chakra. You can't absorb that weapon.
Hokage's wood style beat the perfect Susanoo wrapped in nine tails.
Right. But it's a soul weapon. It's not a chakra type of base weapon. You can't absorb that weapon.
Sure,
it's going to absorb you. It don't matter.
How is it going to get to me if it can't beat the weapon it's going against?
Because if you're in the vicinity of the forest, it absorbs chakra.
1 or 2 branches. You're getting
how is it going to touch me? How is it going to touch me?
If you're in the way it works, the way he subdued the nine tails, the same way Yamato does, it doesn't have to touch you. It's around you, and it absorbs chakra around you. It doesn't have to touch you. That's not how the jutsu works.
Because every time I seen it, it had to touch a nigga to absorb it. Now you saying it don't have to touch
We only saw the jutsu like once. The second time, Tsuchikage got rid of it with his super mega reduction jutsu. But the other time is when first did it when he was reanimated. And that fight don't even count.
You talking about 22 Susanos versus 2 Susanos? Like, come on,
bro. You telling me he could have sat there and he could have summoned whether Kabuto gets beat by Sasuke? If you
that man is trash, bro. Allow Madara is trash. That nigga was garbage.
If you think they can beat Madara, then I don't want to argue whether Sasuke can beat Kabuto.
No, here's the thing.
I'll give you that one. You got to give me this one.
Here's the thing. What I'm saying is 2v1. Madara and Kabuto versus Sasuke, that's a wipe. I don't believe Madara and Kabuto versus Sasuke and Itachi is a wipe. I don't think so.
In fact, let's stop for a second. Let's put Kabuto on Sasuke and Itachi team.
Nah, hold on.
And let's let Madara show up.
Madara versus Itachi and Sasuke. Y'all telling me now? Remember, this is before he got all the BS. All he had was the Rinnegan at this point, and y'all telling me
he has the BS.
No, he don't. No, he don't.
How doesn't he have it?
At this point in time, when it was Itachi and Sasuke versus Kabuto, Madara didn't have all that yet. He didn't get all that until he was alive. He has the first Hokage stuff.
That's not true because he was in the Susanoo. He was already in the Susanoo.
Right.
And he come to the battlefield. Naruto is there while he's in the Susanoo. He has MS. This is before he's back alive.
No,
Naruto's clone through a shuriken.
I'm not talking about
and he
that.
switched to the Rinnegan.
I'm not talking about that BS. I'm talking about all the other BS. He has the Rinnegan. He has the Rinnegan and Hashirama cells. That's it. He don't have nothing else at this point.
He is dog walking Sasuke.
Yo, Hashirama cells by themselves.
You tripping.
Like
you tripping.
You is crazy, dog.
Give me your jutsu that he can do that can beat Itachi and Sasuke.
If he drop a meteorite, them niggas is toast.
They dropped meteorites, and Sasuke cut that crap up.
No, not at that time. Sasuke didn't have perfect Susanoo at that time.
You don't need no perfect Susanoo to destroy meteorites.
He only destroyed it when he got the Sage of Six Path power.
You don't. First of all,
this nigga Madara is now Madara plus Nagato plus Hashirama.
They gonna get double. And here the thing, y'all acting like the Yata mirror don't reflect everything. So he just gonna send that crap right back up into space. That crap don't mean anything.
We didn't see the Yata mirror reflect some kunai. I don't know what that shit can reflect.
It's not reflecting a meteorite.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It can reflect absolutely any. Do I gotta pull up the thing where it says it reflects anything? Like, what are you talking about?
I don't agree that it reflects anything.
You can't go against what the show says because that's how you feel.
Our moon is dropping on the earth and it's just going to reflect it back into space.
Yeah, because that's what it does. It acts as a mirror that absorbs and negates ninjutsu, physical attacks, and astral projections. Ninjutsu, physical attacks, and astral projections.
What does he do when Madara pulls him out the Susanoo?
You can't pull me out of Susanoo.
Yes,
Universal pull. You can pull him right out the Susanoo.
Madara has never used universal pull.
We know he has the Rinnegan. With the Rinnegan, you get all the Rinnegan.
That don't mean you get everything. Okay. That don't mean you get everything.
Susanoo never reflected a meteorite. So do I say it can't do that?
If
it reflected kunai,
if it has reflected everything that has attacked.
He has Rinnegan abilities.
No, but everybody don't get Rinnegan abilities though. Look at Obito. That nigga don't got nothing.
Access to all of the paths.
And it's not a complete reflection.
Not Obito though.
Not Obito though.
Not Obito though.
You cannot on one hand say we haven't seen this, therefore it don't exist, and then on the other hand say even though we haven't seen this, it exists. You can't do that
because anything that has touched the Yata mirror has been reflected. Listen.
Yet Sasuke got repelled. He still stabbed through the sword. The sword made it through. Yeah, it blocked them afterwards, but it still stabbed through. So it's not reflecting.
What stabbed through? What are you talking about?
Sword when he went after Itachi.
What are you talking about?
Because I don't know. I don't have no idea what he's talking about.
It repelled Sasuke afterward, but Sasuke's sword made it halfway through, bro. So it's not an immediate reflection.
I would have to watch that clip again to see what the sword did, to be honest.
What is you talking about?
Like I said, it went inside it. You think it's a parry attack. It don't work like that. You're not parrying a meteorite.
What?
That looked like a parry to me.
It absolutely reflected the weapon. I'm confused what you're talking about.
The weapon, Sasuke's sword went inside the shield, bro.
Yeah, but like it didn't do nothing.
It didn't do nothing, but it's not a simple parry attack. Like it can just reflect anything. It's not.
That's what happened though.
No, it's not what happened.
What?
That
reflection
meteor will crush the shield.
What?
Before you even can reflect anything.
You ain't making sense. You ain't making sense.
You ain't making sense.
No, you ain't making sense.
Dog. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Like Zetsu said, it can reflect everything, and Sasuke tried to go up with the sword, and
he said it was said to reflect everything. That's not the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
You ain't saying nothing. You over here talking about the sword went into the shield, so the meteorite could break it. What are you talking about?
Reading off a myth, like he said, it's said to, didn't say.
And
that's what it does.
When has it not reflected anything?
That's the only time we seen it used.
Exactly.
But the thing is, though, it's possible Zetsu saw it in action before. Like this dude go around, he been recording battles for like forever, so it's possible.
He is from Kaguya days, so
it's possible that he knows that it does, but I don't know why he said it in that form. But I know the statements in Naruto be off sometimes, so I mean, I'm gonna take it as he actually meant that it doesn't, because there's no way he doesn't know that.
All I'm saying is,
I don't take it as he meant that it does reflect.
I don't think a meteorite would destroy that shield.
It definitely
Hell no.
He's not pairing it back out in space, bro. That is a wild statement. No.
He don't have to parry back on space, but it's not landing on Itachi. It's not landing on Sasuke.
They're only protecting his front half. The whole meteorite's covering the whole battle zone. It is not protecting.
It don't need to protect everything if I can reflect it somewhere else. It don't matter.
That's not how that works, bro.
You can keep saying that's not how that works because his sword kind of went into the Yamamiri and got reflected. Like I don't know what you mean by that. Like I think that's a stupid statement.
But he not beating Madara.
Give me another jutsu. That actually works.
No jutsu that
give me another jutsu.
That's a good question. What jutsu do you think they can actually beat Madara with?
They gonna give him hands.
He's not.
Straight up, off the jump. That nigga trash.
No.
First of all, Yamamiri. I mean, what is it called?
That blade is not touching Madara, bro.
That's not my point. Point is, when it does touch Madara, GG's.
You just say what?
It's not touching him.
GG's.
That's not the point, but when it does touch him, like what?
Cause if it do touch Madara, it's over.
Now Madara has a weakness here. He has a weakness here.
First of all, no, that's Thomas bad. Itachi, first of all, he can't even put his Susanoo out like Sasuke and Madara can. He got limits to this ish.
This is reanimated Itachi.
No, reanimated Itachi don't have limits like that. The thing about Madara though, and this is why I used to always say Madara could lose to Itachi, is because Madara, if he don't recognize that weapon that Itachi pulls out, is possibly going to let himself get hit. The same way Orochimaru did. Orochimaru could have done something about him getting hit, but he did not because he said, this attack can't work on me.
And if they're like, let's say all of them is in his Susanoo, then that is a GG because his big ass Susanoo ain't moving out the way. That nigga getting caught.
His Susanoo walks, bro.
No, but he got to get hit himself. I don't think if he just tagged the Susanoo.
His Susanoo walks. His Susanoo is a living being, bro.
And his Susanoo was slow as hell. So what are you talking about?
Itachi got this bad mobilized Susanoo while everybody else is on feet and crap and flying around.
He don't need to be on feet to catch a wave.
I don't think
you already seen that.
Itachi Susanoo's immobile. I just think Itachi's sick.
I mean, it's moving right here. But I mean,
it's moving, but it's slowly. I don't see him like moving with it. Bro.
Because look at how Itachi's moving.
Right, it's moving with Itachi.
But that's what I'm saying. But you don't get like feet to your Susanoo unless you have the perfect Susanoo, which Itachi doesn't have.
I don't think that's true. Let me look that up.
You don't get feet, but I mean, nigga don't need that.
Oh, because Sasuke's Susanoo was moving though.
Yeah, it was moving when he jumped back, but he kind of used his arms and stuff to move. That's what I don't know.
So does it move with the person? Like how does? I'm confused. Because his Susanoo was definitely moving against Danzo.
He gonna pull out 30 Susanoo's on Sasuke and Itachi and dog walk them niggas.
Just regular wood clones. Get them niggas out of here. They trash. Toscale GG. Like I don't. He don't. Madara don't have an end game move like that. He don't have an end game move like that where it's one shot. Removal. Nigga can't do soul.
He could cut a nigga with the Susanoo. He could do a whole ton of stuff.
You ain't getting through my Yamamiri with your stuff, bro.
Yo, your back is open, no diddy.
You finna pull him out the Yamamiri.
I'm gonna say that's what the wood is for.
You can't pull me out the Yamamiri.
He gonna pull him out the Yamamiri.
How?
Because Universal Pull don't care about that.
He don't have Universal Pull.
He has Universal Pull.
He don't have Universal Pull.
He has Universal Pull.
He don't
suck against wind attacks. Whole bunch of other stuff.
Because we forgetting that another nigga had the Rinnegan. He didn't have none of this.
Right. But we saw Nagato use Madara's Rinnegan.
And he obviously didn't know how to use it like Nagato. Just because
he can definitely use it.
Just because a nigga had a hot line, that don't mean he have a hot song.
You get access to the paths when you get the Rinnegan.
And Obito,
so he has access to the paths.
Obito also had the Rinnegan.
That is statements in Naruto.
Obito also had the Rinnegan from Madara? What do you do? He did none of
Obito's
that shit.
trash.
Obviously, Madara's
He's
trash
not
too.
the same nigga. Like, why is Obito even in conversation?
Because we've seen a nigga that has never used none of those abilities, and we've seen two niggas that have never used those abilities. We only seen Nagato
use those abilities.
we
Obito's jutsu is way more busted than
because
any of
why wouldn't I want to use a
has
soul
to do.
removal in the universal pull in the almighty push?
But you forgetting that
What?
Obito said that the Rinnegan was too strong for him. He
And
said that
obviously
himself.
was too strong for Madara because he ain't never did none of those jutsus. We
'Cause he
seen
don't need
Sasuke,
to.
we seen Sasuke and Nagato use it. We ain't never seen Madara do it.
We saw Sasuke use one.
Sasuke used a couple.
You gotta remember, that's all Nagato had. That's his entire arsenal. Madara had
Sasuke
an
used
entire
a couple.
You gotta remember why Madara would not use those jutsus that often. Because he didn't die using those abilities. He knows how to fight with his Sharingan. Like, he can use them, but that's never been his style of fighting.
When he
that doesn't
turned
mean he
when he
won't
turned
use it,
on the
'cause he dropped the
Rinnegan,
meteorite,
when he turned on the
which is
Rinnegan,
literally a jutsu.
why he only used Predator Path and dropping the meteorite when he turned on the Rinnegan?
That's all he needed it for. He was literally using a Sharingan that whole time until he had to use the Rinnegan.
And then he only used 2 moves on the Rinnegan.
That doesn't mean he doesn't have the rest.
He dropped the meteorite and killed everybody.
That's all
What
he
else did
needed, but he
use?
got body bag when he didn't use the Rinnegan.
Again, from who?
Where's Madara now? And also,
He got body bag by one.
when Madara advanced his Rinnegan, when he was alive, this nigga used Limbo and other things like that. Never used the other abilities of the Rinnegan.
Limbo is a whole different other ability that only the person who has the Rinnegan get. But in general, with the Rinnegan, you get access to the 6 paths powers.
So why didn't he use it when he was using the Rinnegan?
Because
He had 3 Rinnegan.
Not to. Just because you
Because
choose
he
not
couldn't
to
use
use
it.
something does not mean you don't have it.
He couldn't use it. That's the reason why.
That's like saying that before Itachi never had Azanami. We know he had it because he just chose not to use it. That doesn't mean he didn't have it.
We don't know if he had it or not.
He had to. He can't wake up with another jutsu. He died. Doesn't make any sense.
We've seen niggas die and come back with some.
Just
BS,
because you choose not to use an ability does not mean that's a horrible argument. Because you can put that on everything. You can say
it's not a horrible
because this
argument,
person didn't use this, he don't have it. Knowing he has access to the jutsu.
That's like saying God didn't get 8 gates until he used 8 gates.
I mean, valid though.
No. It's just not a good argument.
It is though, because you can't say a nigga have something and then he don't use it, but he have it. That don't make sense.
As an argument, then we can't have a debate because that's just the weasel way out of it. You can't.
I don't think that's the weasel way out of it. You can't give a nigga a jutsu that don't have the jutsu.
Right, you could throw that on everything. So if you're gonna do that,
it is what it is.
There's no way to win here.
You can't give him a jutsu.
I can sit here and say I haven't seen the meteorite get reflected,
and that's fine. But I can't say that I haven't seen the meteorite get dropped on the Yamamura.
That's right, but he can drop a meteorite,
and he can
pull up the Yamamura. Reflect.
Yes, it
can.
Yamamura
can't reflect nothing but kunai.
It can reflect anything, like Zetsu said.
Nothing but kunai and a sword.
And Zetsu also said it reflects anything.
Oh no, he said it was said to, not the same thing as it does.
Zetsu said it can reflect anything.
In my mind, it can only reflect regular weapons, like it reflected.
Like a rock dropping on the earth.
No, regular weapons.
That's a regular
weapon. Swords and kunais.
And
all we saw was swords and kunais.
And an asteroid. Yeah.
Swords and kunais.
And an asteroid.
No.
Yeah.
Didn't see it reflect the asteroid. You just making stuff up.
Didn't see it drop on the Yamamura either. You just making stuff up.
That's right.
That's right.
The only difference is you giving him powers he don't have, and we know he can drop a meteorite.
Only difference is Zetsu said anything you drop on it is going to get reflected.
No, Zetsu said it was said. So you putting words in his mouth.
I ain't putting words in his mouth. That's what he said.
He said it was said to be able to. He never said it did.
Look, regardless is, Madara has never Madara has never used that jutsu. You can't
that trash argument that you try to use.
I don't care if you think it's trash. If he never used it, he never used it.
It is trash. That's why
That's like giving Minato. That's like giving Minato Racine Shuriken and being like, oh, we know that he made the Rasengan. That don't mean he don't have it. That makes no sense.
But it's like saying Sage Mode. He had Sage Mode all that time until he finally used it.
Right, and we ain't know he had Sage Mode until he used it. That's the point.
But he had it though.
That's the point. We ain't know he
it's just a weasel way out of the debate.
If we was going back in time,
that's how you weasel out of it.
If we was going back in time and being like niggas was gonna be like
1,000 times.
If we was going back in time and y'all was like, Minato got the Sage Mode, but we don't know Minato got the Sage Mode. How do you know Minato has the Sage Mode?
But that doesn't mean he doesn't have it.
How do you know he has the Sage Mode?
If I was told this,
how do you know he has the Sage Mode?
And you talk,
go ahead.
If I was told that Minato has something that gives him access to all the Sage abilities, I'm not going to say Minato does not have Sage Mode. That does not make sense.
How when he never used it?
If you have the Sharingan, and I say this man has access to all Sharingan abilities, I would not sit there and say he doesn't have a certain Sharingan move if it's said he has access to it. That doesn't make sense, whether I see him use it or not.
So why does Obito not have access to all the abilities?
Because he has access. Obito said the Rinnegan was too powerful for him. This is what I'm trying to tell you. He literally said he almost went crazy from the power. That's how strong the Rinnegan is. Obito's not ready for that.
And you can actually see that in the anime because when Nagato first did it, he was going crazy with the Rinnegan because of the power.
That's fine. It's just like I said, it's a weasel argument. That's fine.
And y'all got a weasel argument. Y'all argument don't make sense.
No,
y'all trying to give a nigga. Y'all trying to give a nigga powers that has never had the powers.
It's called critical thinking.
I'm not giving Sasuke soul removal because we know Rinnegan users have soul removal. I mean, he's never done it.
Right, except that it says when you have the Rinnegan, you get access to all those abilities.
But he's never used it.
Like
all the Rinnegan abilities.
But he's never used it.
He don't got that one.
But he even in Boruto, Sasuke has never used soul removal.
You're trying to take a statement about the Yamamura that's not even a full statement. But the statement about the Rinnegan, you don't want to take.
Because we've seen in real life action that anything that comes against the Yamamura gets destroyed by the Yamamura. But we've seen Rinnegan users. I don't care what you agree with.
I don't agree.
We've seen Rinnegan users not be able to use the whole Rinnegan ability. We've seen that. But against the Yamamura, anything that touches the Yamamura gets whooped.
I've seen the Yamamura not reflect anything.
When?
I've seen it block stuff.
When?
Like what? I seen it block kunais in a sword, and now I'm supposed to believe it can deflect anything?
Here's the thing. Anything that touches the Yamamura got bounced
sword
off. I don't care what it was. Anything that touches the Yamamura.
No, there is no. You're trying to make it something
that touched the Yamamura.
You're trying to do exactly the same thing.
I don't care what you were talking about.
You're trying to make an indefinite argument.
Got reflected by the Yamamura. But we've seen niggas that uses the Rinnegan not have the abilities to the Rinnegan, and y'all trying to tell me they have the abilities to the Rinnegan. That makes no sense. That's stupid.
That's just the dumbest thing you said today.
That's stupid. That's dumb.
I'm not even.
I don't care what you're talking about. Anything that touches the Yamamura got reflected by the Yamamura.
That's the dumbest thing you said today.
And that's the dumbest thing you said.
I know you don't care, but you don't have nothing to say against it.
And you don't have nothing to say for it.
The dumbest argument.
You don't have nothing to say for it.
It's nothing they can do. It don't even matter because it's not even something to even. Itachi and Sasuke would get dog walked. Like it is what it is. Like
all I know is
it's barely even worth the petty argument you trying to put up.
Blade GG.
That's fine, bro.
That's fine.